So ultimately, CBD might give us some clue as to what's going to happen with enforcement of marijuana laws, even in states where it's still illegal. People may not be aware of this. CBD legal status, you can see here on the website. Fully legal are the green states, legal restrictions are the blue states, and fully illegal are the red states. People may not be aware that there's still places in the United States where CBD is still technically illegal. But I went online and checked, and you can find CBD stores in South Dakota and Idaho. And of course, you can get it shipped in the mail to all 50 states. And so this is weird that it's still illegal in a lot of states. Here in Texas, you're supposed to have a card. You're supposed to have an approved medical condition, but they just sort of stopped enforcing it. I walked into a CBD shop in Denton, Texas, and had no trouble buying it. I just walked in and told them what flavor I wanted, and 30-day supply or 60-day supply, and they gave it right to me. And here's another thing that's sort of interesting, if this webpage will load. I bumped into a lawyer friend of mine. He was in a hurry, so we didn't have a lot of time to talk. And he asked me what I was working on, and I told him I was working on this project, this big project about marijuana legalization. And he said, "Oh, that's funny because now Texas marijuana is legal." And I was stumped because, of course, marijuana is not legal in Texas. But here's what's happening with marijuana in the big cities around Texas. And this revolves, as this little caption on the news story says, it revolves around testing. We know that hemp is almost indistinguishable from marijuana plant, from cannabis indica. And there's all this sort of wrangling in the Texas legislature about how much THC content can be in CBD and can be in marijuana. But the Texas legislature legalized hemp last session. So there's a problem here. It's almost indistinguishable, hemp and marijuana. So when they arrest somebody and they want to go, and have the case in court, they have to test it to figure out how much THC content it has, if it's actually marijuana or just hemp. And these tests cost between $80 and $400 to test a suspected marijuana product. So prosecutors in big counties like Dallas and Tarrant, where Fort Worth is located, decided, well, we're just not going to prosecute these crimes, so that people just, there's a get out of jail free card. Of course, they're still confiscating it when officers find someone with marijuana. But this is interesting. In November of last year, and this could have a lot to do with testing and also about the pandemic, because a lot of cities were not wanting to pack their county jails with low-level offenders, nonviolent offenders, for worry that they just spread COVID all throughout the jail. So Fort Worth Police, and this is happening in Austin, obviously. Austin's kind of wacky place. And Dallas, they're sort of not arresting low-level offenders. They just sort of seize the marijuana, and maybe they'll give a ticket. A lot of cities have started just, especially during the pandemic, started just writing civil fines for people in states where it's illegal who get caught with marijuana. So we'll see what happens. But this may be sort of a new trend among law enforcement, even in states where it's illegal. So we'll see. Stay tuned.